Go.
Hello, everyone. It's Texas on Tap, and here we go. It's the unofficial start to summer, going into Memorial Day weekend.
It's so weird how crazy and dramatic everything is because I'm sitting in a hotel in Long Beach right now and it's like 50 degrees outside.
Oh my gosh.
It's like
Wow.
overcast and
Seriously.
and kind of gross. Yeah, I've been looking forward to this beach trip for a while and it's nice and overcast, which is what I normally like, but not when I'm in California.
I know you like that cool temperature, though.
Yeah, it's great. Just
You
not when
do.
you're at the beach.
You do. True that. True that. Well, hopefully it'll get better. Maybe it'll clear up and the sun will shine for you.
We'll see what happens.
Okay.
You want-
Well, I can tell
Kick
you
it off.
here that yeah, our wind is pumping out of the Gulf of Mexico right behind me, and we'll get into that later. I want to talk about some stuff, but okay. So I'm going to go ahead and let you go first with your picks because I've got a
Okay,
lot to discuss with my tap room picks. So let's go ahead and jump into yours, which are awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So let's kick it off with a previous guest of the show and a good friend of mine. He actually was my producer, and his name's Timlightyear. He dropped a song that's been highly anticipated. We talked about it when we had him on the show back a couple months ago, and it's called "Misunderstood." First things first, we love a Tim Lightyear. Second things second, we love a waltz. His voice is so special. The song's so much fun. The way that he like does the like pretty like oohs and ahs and like the falsettos, but then he gets like all growly and it's just
Yes.
so emotional. It's such a beautiful song. I'm so it's funny because like I have a close relationship with him and I'm like actually just proud of to know the guy because the song's so damn good. Um, the little walk down thing they do, the do 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 do, and
Yes.
coming out of the
Yes.
chorus, and then the
What
like
about it?
la
What
da
it was? Yeah.
da's.
Yes.
Oh God, it's just so creative and like it just feels like it's like one step ahead of the curve almost. Like maybe I don't know. I see big things coming for him, and I hope and wish the best for Tim with all these releases. He's had a crazy year so far with a couple releases, a new baby, and oh man.
Yes, it is good. And yes, that was about a minute 48. I marked it on my thing. But I like lyrically, it's like, man, it's just like because sometimes I think all of us have been in that position. And I think so many times, so many moments, all of us can also relate to that song. So yeah, he's amazing.
Absolutely. And then let's go ahead and kick the tap room doors open with our guest this coming week, Mr. Cody Hibbard. Long awaited interview with Cody Hibbard. Cody and I go way back, and this is a brand new single called Rollin'. So hearing this song before we talked to him was outstanding,
Yeah.
right? And then
Yes.
hearing it again after we talked to him and heard the story, it just like it was a whole nother level. It's so crazy how knowing the story behind a song can do that. Just that first line, it's like if you're watching on YouTube, you know what I'm talking about. But man, I thought it was so cool. I guess it really just being able to piece together those moments and the creativity that it requires as a listener to do that before you know the story of the song is kind of what makes
Mhm.
music so special or one of the many things. But then after listening to this interview with him and him telling us the very detailed vivid story of how this song was actually inspired, it's like, oh, it's so cool. It's just like watching a movie.
It's strong and it's one of those that you definitely want in your library. So and it's perfect for Memorial Day. So rolling with it during Memorial Day weekend with Cody Hibbard.
Hmm.
Love the song. And make sure you tune into the interview. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about that towards the end of the podcast. But it's a rolling one. It's on fire. It's a good one. So you don't want to miss that one. Okay, keeping the tap room door open. This is a huge special project that's been in the works for a while. So taproom door open for Fender Bender. This is Dusty Moats featuring Squeezebox Bandits. Fender Bender, Dusty Moats featuring Squeezebox Bandits. So when this song was in the making, like Dusty sends me a lot of music. Like I was down doing stuff and he texted it to me and I listened to it, but I had no idea this song was going to turn into probably one of the biggest music projects of the year here in the great state of Texas. It's the 50th anniversary of Freddie Fender's first album, Before the Next Teardrop Falls. And he also would have been 87 on his birthday, which is June 4th. So all of this is right around the corner. So what they have done, they have turned this big tribute into a big celebration for Freddie Fender. And actually, Dusty and Augie Myers from Texas Tornadoes, Abel from Squeezebox Bandits, those three are going to go to a special taping with Domingo Live TV with Rudy Trevino next week, early next week in Corpus Christi. And this is going to be a big airing. It's going to be a big broadcast for radio and for television. So they're prepping for that. And again, that'll be the first week in June. I know they're recording on June 2nd. And so it's a big thing. You want to follow up with this because there's also a change.org petition to get Freddie into the Country Music Hall of Fame to be the first Mexican American into the Texas Country Music Hall of Fame. And he's already got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. He's already in the Louisiana Country Music Hall of Fame. But I mean, that's just
So
staple
weird.
music for us in Texas. I mean, Freddie
Yeah.
Fender is like, I mean, I just think this is an amazing project, and I hope I didn't miss anything on this, but you're going to be hearing lots about it. So, thanks, Dusty, for sending this over. It actually drops to radio on Tuesday to Texas country radio stations, and I'm sure you're going to be seeing a lot, and I'm sure it'll be out to streaming as well. So, Fender Bender, I loved it when he sent it to me. This was, gosh, I want to say maybe last summer or towards the end of last summer, and had no idea this would turn into such a big thing. So, kudos to everyone involved in that one. And now, my next pick out to radio is a young lady by the name April N. Smith. It's One Church, One Bar Town. I can so relate to this song. And one of the co-writers on this, Kyle, is Helene Cronin.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yes. And but it's kind of one of those when you grow up in a small town, of course, under 2,000 population, check right here.
Mhm.
But she tells
Not
this
anymore.
story in the backstory. You know, she's from Dangerfield originally. Dad was in law enforcement. Her mom was a school nurse, and so went to the First Baptist Church. And like in our small town, like it was, everybody knows what you're doing. You know, it's like if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time or in the right place at the right time, everybody knows about it. But the lyrics in here are so amazing, and I love the control in her voice and how she delivers the song. Whiskey laced barstool confessions, and then Sunday morning after with crack stained glass reflections in church. But you know, sometimes you can't wait to get away from where you grew up, like but when you're lost and you want to be found again, you just go back home to that one church, one bar town. Great, solid song. April and Smith, that's out to Texas radio as well.
Very cool. Well, let's talk about our friends at
Oh,
More Than
no.
Music.
I forgot we're recording. I thought it was just me and you.
That's hilarious.
That's
What
real
was I
stuff
saying
right
now?
there, people. That's for real.
Yeah.
See what
Oh
Kyle has to
yeah.
put up with.
Well, you may. Hey, it's fun. Like we say, this is our weekly check-in. This is like our grounding. We drift off into space throughout the week, but then every Thursday when we get together and talk, it's like, oh, back down to earth, which is what we both need. So very nice.
True, true. Okay,
Um,
so more than
what was I
music
saying?
creations.
Yeah. Tell them about More Than Music Creations.
Oh my gosh, what can I say? I mean, it's just tremendous jewelry. Of course, you know, it's specific, specially made, handcrafted jewelry made from some of your favorite Texas country artist guitar strings. And so they're turned into these beautiful pieces. I just saw Michaela is still putting them out. I saw Bree has a new set of earrings and a necklace. It's absolutely gorgeous. But go to their website, morethanmusiccreations.com, and just kind of scroll through and you're going to see some of your favorite Texas artists that are on there, and then just different collections that they have. And the great thing is they turn it around into a positive and helping those children in foster care with the nonprofit organization in the Austin area. So morethanmusiccreations.com, and check out the Texas Toast podcast line as well.
Yeah, and speaking of Bree, real quick, some big news in her world and my world. My second baby, OnlyVans podcast that we've been doing for coming up on a year now, hit a big milestone this week. We dropped a new episode featuring Cody and Shannon Canada, from obviously Cody and from The Departed, and it was our debut episode on the new podcast network that picked up her podcast. It's called The Bluegrass Situation. They're based out of Los Angeles, and we're their debut podcast on a new branch that they're opening. And they're founded by, or I guess owned by, Ed Helms, the actor. So he was the guy from The Hangover and The Office, and he also happens to be like a badass bluegrass player. So very proud moment for me and Bree. Just wanted to give that a shout out. And if you're listening to Texas Toast and you're not listening to Only Vans podcast, you should go check it out.
That is so cool. I love the way y'all present that podcast. And it's like, and she's just so good at everything she does. But you know, she's just got that welcoming kind of like where you can just engage in conversation. And it's kind of just total opposite of what we do here, but still in another way, it's just magnificent. So I think yeah. I would love to go sit in her van and talk to her. We could really talk some stuff. Anyway,
Yeah, I'd have to cut you guys off.
you probably would. Have you ever wondered how artists like Treaty Oak Revival, Red Clay Strays, and Aaron Watson maintain the high quality and high demand for their merchandise? CH Lonestar Promo is the answer. Created in Texas to serve Texas artists, and they're currently offering 15% off on all merch orders from musicians. Visit chlonestarpromo.com to get started and tell them Texas Toast sent you.
I was reading the other day that it takes at least $1 million to break an artist. That's a ton of change, and it can feel overwhelming. But with social media leveling the playing field, you just need an effective strategy to release your music. Check out Release Rocket to ensure your single does not die after release day. You've already put time, effort, and tons of money into writing and recording your album. Let the guys at Release Rocket keep your new release alive.
Okay, so let's look at what's popping and topping on some of the charts and who's having a good week on the chart. I can tell you is Mr. Tanner Sparks. We talked about Blank Check just last week, and it was Song of the Week this week. Went from 123 to 74. Brandy Balin is
Wow.
moving up fast. Like Bad Boy Good Man went from 80 to 52. Both of them were in the most ads. Just looking down at some of the other people on the charts that are coming up, it's just like some songs are just moving fast, a lot of songs that we have previewed. But anyway, so number 1 on Texas country music chart this week is Casey Donahue with The Gang, Pat Green, Wade Bowen, Randy Rogers, Running Out of Time. That's another great song. If you don't have that on your playlist for coming up for Memorial Day, that's another great one to have. Number 1 this week on CD Extraction Texas is Wyatt Flores with Milwaukee. He's also
Oh,
number
wow.
1 on the Texas Regional Radio Report as well. I know another one I wanted to mention, Scotty Alexander. You know, I love Scotty Alexander. And this is another good one for you too to put into your playlist for Memorial Day and for the summer. Poor folk. And he is just like he's killing it on the charts with that. And so I just wanted to
Mm.
mention that. And I had some others, and Lord knows where I put them.
All good. No worries. Yeah, there's a
It
few I
but,
wanted
like,
to mention as
seriously,
well.
but, like, yeah, just one more thing. It's like the music is just stacked up and stacked up and stacked up. I probably could have previewed, like, 6 songs,
Oh,
like
sure.
Bernie Nelson. I mean, there's so many people I've got a lot of work to do, but I promise next week I'll catch up and be more organized. I am just like,
Mhm.
"Next, batter up."
Glitching. Yeah. Holly Beth and Dylan Wheeler released a song together this week, which was really cool. I know that's an awesome collab. They're both rock stars, so that's going to be a great song. Connor Stevens, who we talked about a couple weeks back with his single, I think it was his debut single, Hanging On, released another one today. So y'all got to go check that out. I'm in love with that guy's music. It's unreal. And then also Jesse Robb Jr. Dropped a full album today. It's called Real Simple Country. So go check all that good stuff out.
Ooh, I got to do that. I'm putting that on my checklist.
Mhm.
Hey, you know what? I gotta show you something. Let me close this. So I'm keeping up. So when we get to the end of the year this year, and there's also index cards in here, but this right here, this is just from March.
Oh,
Podcast
wow.
notes, all of our stuff.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So so I'm gonna get another one. So when we do our end of year, because like I start going back and I'm trying to remember, and it's like usually, I have it here or there. So I'm keeping it all in
Mhm.
one souvenir.
Cool. And that way you
Show
can go
prep.
back and
Show prep.
get everything
For the
ready for the end of year awards show that we got to bring back this year. Maybe we can do that
yeah.
one in person. Holy shit, let's do that one at the Kinney store. How about that?
Let's do it. Let's do
Do
it
our
in
own little
person.
Texas Toast Awards. Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll be
Love
fun.
it. Love it. Yeah.
Speaking of Kinney Store, hopefully we'll get Mr. Tony from the Kinney Store on the podcast here pretty soon. I think we're gonna try and get in a couple of those bottoms up episodes for you guys. We've been meaning to talk to or catch up with
Mhm.
Mr. Chad Malden, who was just awarded producer, I think record producer of the year, right at the award show.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Um, and that one's been a long time coming, but lots of other cool stuff coming up. We've got an interview with Jared Morris coming up. We've got an interview with Sunny Salceda, obviously this coming week with Cody Hibbard. And just to be completely honest with you guys, Cody Hibbard laid it all on the line. He was brutally honest about everything going on in his life and in his mind, and we're here for it. So definitely don't miss that one. It's it might shock you a little bit. There's a little bit of shock value going on in there, but it's 100% genuine from Cody. And if you're not familiar with him, this is a great way to start.
Yes. Yes. I still want to know what his middle name is. Him and my son,
Yeah,
because my
that
son's
was
name is Cody
crazy.
also, y'all. And it's like, and I was, but like listening to him was like listening to when we have that mom son talk sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I loved it because, like I told him, that's why we're here. That's why everybody's here. We want to hear it. So yeah, love Cody Hibbard. That was awesome. Looking forward to Sunny's podcast coming out. Who else do we have? Gosh, we've been doing so many. It's
Yeah.
been a great this has been a really, really good month.
Yeah, a nice little stretch of podcasts for sure. Pat Green, obviously, this last week, and Wade Bowen the week before that. Those two were both awesome. If you haven't checked those out yet, go back in the catalog. And like Helen always says, go way back in the catalog. Just if you're looking on Apple Music, just put your
Mhm.
thumb down on there and swipe up real hard, and then just pick the first one that it lands on. It's every now and then I'll go
Mhm.
back and listen to an old Texas on Tap episode that we did from 2 years ago, and we sound like babies, and it's hilarious. But
I know.
it's very entertaining. So if you're at the point where you've listened, you're caught up on all your podcast listening, just scroll way back in the Texas Toast catalog, or jump over to YouTube. If you usually listen, go on YouTube and watch, because it's like a whole
Mhm.
whole totally different experience.
Yes, it certainly is.
You got
So one
anything
thing I was
crazy?
going to talk
Yeah,
about,
there you go.
yes, I have the Matagorda craziness
You
going
read my
on.
mind.
We everybody is going to be coming in, but this is just for everybody, even if it's not specifically at our beach here. The winds are just ripping on the Gulf Coast. So you inland visitors coming to the coast, whether it's Galveston or whether it's Rockport or Port O'Connor or Surfside, there's rip current alerts, and it's like this the Gulf is not being very nice this Memorial Day weekend. So make sure you're really, really careful, because a lot of people get to the beach and you get excited and you want to get in and do stuff. It's like those rip currents are dangerous. Trust me, I see it. I see too much. So
Yeah.
just be careful on our beaches. Enjoy it. You can enjoy it from the beach sand. Play some games. Play some
Hmm.
volleyball. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just chill out in the sun. Probably gonna get some wind burn too with these winds ripping. Oh, they're just
Yeah.
pumping.
It's
Mhm.
crazy too, and it's crazy out here. I'm like, like I said, I'm looking out the window, and although it's overcast and kind of gloomy, it's awesome because I see a mountain over there and I see a beach over there
Oh, how
and an ocean
pretty.
past that. But it's not to rag on California at all, but I mean, obviously the beaches here beat the crap out of Texas beaches no matter what. But we're in Long Beach right now because Caitlin's here working for the week. But the beach here is not great. It's kind of dirty. It's got like glass in the sand and stuff. So um, not going to spend too much time on the beach here, but we're heading down the coast a little bit this weekend to an area called Newport Beach that I've never been, and I've been hearing great things. So really excited. Even if it's not sunny, we're going to be out. At least I'll be out there laying on the sand trying to catch some sun,
That's
or maybe
good. That's good.
swimming in the freezing cold water. But we'll see what happens.
Cool stuff. Okay, well, get out there and check out some Texas music and jam it and blast it while you're at your Memorial Day festivities, and go
Hmm.
back and listen to the podcast. If you're on the road and you're traveling to wherever you're going for Memorial Day, check it out.
Yeah, line them up. All right, cheers.
Cheers.